What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Joe. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Hagrit. It's game number 4 in this best of 7 series for the semifinals of the Age of Mythology competitive mega random first ever tournament. It's $1,000 prize pool. The ultimate victor of this tournament. Thanks so much for the 15 rated party. The rating party of 15. Thank you, Punkstar 555. I don't know what I was saying. Well, $1,000 prize pool, $500 to the eventual winner. And then the rest is shared amongst second, third, fourth, and obviously the lower tournament where we will be doing highlights throughout the coming weeks. Alrighty, we got another game for you guys. Joe versus Hagrit. Yet again, now Joe's going in with his Isis, and this map right now is looking very similar to Midgard, and Joe's going to be incredibly happy about that one. Not only is it Midgard, but it's Midgard with Hunt, which isn't something you get to see very often, which means clean builds for days. So we'll see how the game's going to go. A lot of players consider Isis to be one of, if not the best god on Midgard and on Anatolia. The reason being is actually twofold. So first reason is that Isis has got the strongest god power combo in the heroic age. So Isis can utilize Ancestor Eclipse to get a huge amount of damage done between 7 minutes 30 and 8 minutes 30 into the game. So if the Isis player plays a hyper meta, which is effectively you go for a semi-fast heroic with a handful of cabinets and play defensive, then they can drop the Ancestor Eclipse on their opponent's economy and get the advantage with a very early Mythic Age. You can go through Thoth and make a ton of Phoenix, or you can go through Osiris and try and go map control ways and play a little bit slower. Now, the extra thing that Isis has over the other gods, which is, in my opinion, is actually what makes Isis really strong here against some gods, but not all of them, is a monument protection. So a monument in the main base means that a Hades player, a Poseidon player, a Ra player, a Set player, and even Uranus to some degree, their semi-fast mythics are no good against Isis because of those monuments. So they have to play the game slightly differently in order to find victories. So we'll see how this is going to go. Is the extra fishing ship worth not hunting there? I'm not sure what you mean by that at all. I think Hagrit not hunting, I don't think that it really matters. I think that Hagrit with all of these cows, better to not build the granary, get the extra fishing ship out. One extra fishing ship when you're not getting hunting dogs, like if you think about the actual gather rate of hunt, the hunting gather rate without hunting dogs over cows is very small. It's only 0.12, and the extra fishing ship is worth an extra villager, which is worth 1, not 0.12. So the getting an extra fishing ship out would actually be better here. So yes, Hagrit makes a correct call where that's concerned. So Temple coming out here for Joe. Fishing ships coming out very, very strongly here for Joe as well, as he's going to be throwing down his extra docks. And this is a very, very mass fishing ship kind of map here. So the question really does become, do you bother, if you're Hagrit, throwing docks down over here, or do you just say, all right, we're gonna just try and control our water as best as we can and just kind of play this map hyper accelerated with 18 fishing ships that don't really get touched? Because maybe Joe will throw up a fort dock, but I think for the most part here, Isis players don't really want to do raids with cabinets. They're not the best unit. Yes, you do have the bonus damage against fishing ships, but you don't have the range, you don't have the speed of, say, an Uranus thing, a Bareme, or you don't have the range of a Trireme. it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go for Isis. So the question really does come down to whether or not Hagrit wants to do anything here. And we are seeing Athena. We are seeing Anubis actually coming through for Joe, which is incredibly surprising. He doesn't know that the water is cut off. So Anubis is a head scratcher. He doesn't have a monument up just yet either, as it is coming down. But what his plan with the snakes is kind of confounding to me. So maybe it's just as a deterrent more than anything else, but no access to Ancestors Eclipse really does take away a lot of that Isis mid-game power spike that I was talking about here. And to me, it kind of looks like Joe, plenty of villagers on wood. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing with that wood. Maybe getting early shaft mine. Early shaft mine's really, really good. Getting himself person, getting himself all of that stuff is very important, as well as what is Hagrit doing over here. We see a Minotaur coming out. Do we see our person coming in? Has he already got it? No, he doesn't. A little bit late on that one. It kind of looks to me like Hagrit's going for a fast second town center here, which personally I don't particularly like. We do see that this villager has got being caught here by Joe, so Sneaky Doc not going to be able to come up here. Over here as well, we see this villager getting chased down as it's feeling very, very sad about herself as it ends up getting taken down. Not going to get not going to be able to get the dock up there at all. Joe's going to be going for his second town center really, really early here. I mean, I don't mind the fast second town center on a map like this. I don't think it's as good as just going straight heroic age. And I would wager that Hagrit might be doing that here. Both players not with Persane. Was that what I'm witnessing here? Both players not having Persane. Let me tell you a little factoid about Persane and why Persane is a million times better than anyone thinks, as we're finally seeing it coming through for Joe. Getting this town center up before Persane is actually not as good as getting Persane first. Reason being is that if you've got 18 fishing ship, Persane is effectively a 30% boost, I believe, to fishing ship. So you're getting yourself effectively one extra villager per 3 and a bit fishing ships. So let's just say it's 3 fishing ships for the easy math. You go up to 6 extra fish, 6 extra villagers just by getting that technology straight away, which is gigantic. It's more than this town center is going to get you in a minute and a bit. So delaying the town center for just a little bit is the correct play here, as Hagrit's getting himself his own town center up right now. Doesn't get the dock down on either side. The Minotaur is coming through, getting some harass over here. So we are seeing a cabinet coming in onto this position. We do have to remember that Joe did manage to get himself didn't manage to get himself. He chose to go through Anubis here, so he does have access to the snakes here. So Hagrid going to be a little bit disappointed about this dock being allowed, but it is up, and now he's going to have to deal with the consequences. We do see Scarab Pendant coming back into his base. Joe, does he have himself Shaft Mine yet? No Shaft Mine. He has himself Hand Axe. Moving over onto this Gold Mine. Can potentially cast Prosperity. That's another reason why Isis is so strong on this map is Prosperity. You get the extra food economy, and then that gold economy comes in to really match the food economy, as we see an attempt at a third town center coming in here for Joe. Might be a little bit too difficult to get that one up, as we do see the Ajax going straight after Menez here as he's retreating away, as the Chiron trying to juke around these villages as best as he can. We do see an armory coming up trying to block the Chiron in, not allowing him to retreat away, but there is a pretty big gap over here as the Pharaoh going to be returning back to try and empower this town center up. We see a whole bunch of buildings down for Hagrid here. No attempt at any sort of fast heroic here at all, as the Ajax does start getting taken down. The Chiron going to be shooting this villager away as more villagers are trying to get this town center up. This Pharaoh looking awfully weak here. Is a nice marker from Hagrid. The units not really coming through for Hagrid just yet, but the Hippocon is going to be on the way. We'll be trying to take Menez out, as it will end up killing that one there. The Chiron is here to take down these snakes, but the snakes are through to just a little bit of defense, as the town center desperately wants to come up for Joe. Joe with resources up the wazoo. Same with Hagrid. Both players can get themselves up to the heroic age here. Hagrid getting himself his third town center as well if he so chooses. Meanwhile, over here, we do see that the trireme that was trying to take down the dock will indeed get taken out by said dock, as the Chiron just about to fall down here. 23 HP needs said Chiron to win against these serpents here, as the villagers are still slowly getting taken out, but the town's going to getting closer and closer to getting finished here, as Hagrit going to be retreating back. See some more units getting produced. Joe does drop his prosperity. Both players are going to be advancing to the heroic age at exactly the same time. You don't see that too often. More military buildings getting dropped. Hagrid's still not looking at this third town center here, but potentially staying 2 town centers going mythic age here might be a better idea. There's no monuments anywhere, so an early Artemis going to do some good damage as an option here. More buildings getting thrown down. Necropolis coming through for Joe as well, as he wants a little bit more favor. Honestly, Necropolis, in all honesty, I actually don't think Necropolis is worth upgrading in its current state. 10% extra favor ends up being equal, not even equal to 2 monuments. With only 1 monument that Joe's got, he's about to have 2. But 10% of 6 a minute is 0.6, so you get 0.6 favor extra a minute, and then this monument is 4, so you get 0.4. So you get 1 extra favor a minute for the cost of Necropolis. We do some more quick maths. Necropolis is, where is it? Necropolis is 162 gold, 5 favor. So it takes you 5 minutes to pay off the favor that you spend on it. And then you also have to pay off the gold you spent on it. So not worth it in my opinion. Not worth it in my opinion at all. Apparently, it's not 10%, it's 30% on Vubly. But it says 10%, so I'm going to lock in 10% here. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Anyways, even if it's 30%, that's still got 3 favor a minute. That's a bit better. Anyways, we do see the minions getting dropped onto this position here as Aphrodite comes in. Curse gets dropped. And the Nemean Lions doing all of the stuff, but looks like Hagrit will have to retreat back here. Hagrit with plenty of resources in the bank, but now the monument to the priest coming down, this town center is the only real weakness. Do we have town centers in range of water? No, we don't, so no like cheeky abilities to get through there, as you do see Hephaestus on the way. So Hagrit not choosing to go through Artemis. He's going through Hephaestus, gives Joe a little bit of a chance to do Joe shenanigans here. I would have liked to see a more aggressive Artemis here, making Chimera and being a little bit more chaotic, forcing Joe into some problems. But the Hephaestus opting for the boom, kind of more boomy route, does let Joe kind of do whatever he wants here, as the Monument to the Priest is up. Plenty of favor going to be coming his way. There's a world where Joe decides to go Thoth here, a world where Joe decides to go Osiris, but obviously Osiris the safer choice, because he's going to have to deal with Colossus, and mummies with the 3 monuments do help quite a bit. As Siege Works gets pushed up onto this position here. Joe does have a safe gold mine back here as well, but he will have to be considering which gold he wants to grab a little bit later. This gold mine on the front, this gold mine on the side here, not really secured, no walls up just yet for Joe. A little bit on Joe-like, he does throw those walls down pretty early normally, but a water map does kind of change things, changes your priorities just a little bit. There's farms coming up now for Hagrit over here. Hephaestus is at 80%, so a significant advantage in the timings for Hagrit of about 20 seconds. So we'll see if he's going to be able to, or 30 seconds. So we'll see if he's going to be able to use that somehow, some way here, as another Siege Works is up here for Joe. What is his plans with that? I do not know. And fortified town centers as well coming through, as Hagrit drops himself his plenty vault. Does he have the favor? Yes, he does. Favor for Forge of Olympus, so he can grab that one immediately and then throw his armories down as well. Pushing through onto this position. He does have his Achilles out. Very, very tanky unit. The Toxotes, also Hades Toxotes, so they're going to be able to deal with those spearmen nice and easily here, as Joe does have to retreat back, as we do see another Migdol stronghold up onto this position. But Hagrid kind of has to wait a little bit here for the Hephaestus to pay off, because Joe's going to have Son of Osiris, and Son of Osiris is a big deal here. It gets less and less of a deal as the upgrades come in, as the hack upgrades come in, the Son of Osiris becomes less and less of a big deal because he doesn't scale at all. It's just a flat 60 damage for the rest of the game. So definitely getting those hack upgrades before you deal with the Son of Osiris is a way forward. As the mummy here, we get some good damage done. Restoration getting dropped as Hagrit is saying go very, very early here with no upgrades. Having just spent 300 gold. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it work. Joe currently sitting at full population. He's on this gold mine over here. Migdol Stronghold getting dropped onto that position here. We do see that the Son of Osiris is getting currently targeted down by the Achilles. The mummy comes forward, going to be able to take out the Colossus, and Hagrit has to retreat back as he is pushing his fists into the brick wall that is Joe's Isis defense here. As now we see some Hades Shades coming in to help out. And not only that, look at this. I've missed this completely. But all of Hagrid's food economy gets absolutely carved up by this one ramming galley raid here. I absolutely love this from Joe. This is something you would barely ever see in Midgard, because everyone just kind of goes on Midgard, let me make a handful of cabinets, sit back, and then kind of do nothing. But on this map, you have the time to like save the resources and do something a little bit more special with the ramming galleys, and your opponent feels safe. So they don't worry about it. But right now, Hagrit gets absolutely destroyed here. He's got 67 villages, 8 donkey caravans. Joe's got 74 villages, 6 donkey caravans, and 32 fishing ships. Fishing ships are the best food income you can possibly have with Salt Amphora, so no reason not to go for them. As now, Joe's going to be pushing in onto Hagrit's position here. Does Hagrit have a couple of upgrades? He does. He's now starting to get them out. Bronze weapons coming through for Joe, though, as Hagrit's not really able to afford all too much here. The Son of Osiris turning around, getting the damage done. Hagrit's 145 of 145 population, but Joe's population not really budging here. It's 168 as a whole bunch of idle units over here for Hagrit. Not sure why they're there, but a problem nonetheless, as Hagrit also would really like to have heavy cavalry, but not available to him just yet, as this Son of Osiris is being an absolute menace to Hagrit's army here, keeping him nice and far back. This is beautiful control. We see Hagrit bringing in his Perseus. Perseus Colossus is actually one of those combos you don't see very often. It can be really good to deal with the mummies that are in, but there's no mummies here at the moment for Joe, and no Colossus for Hagrit, so this Perseus is unfortunately not going to be that useful, as we do see a Heliopolis, I should say, coming in onto this position here, going to be going after the Son of Osiris here. As that one will get taken down very soon. We do see the siege tower getting taken down. As the only real problem for Joe right now is that he's just got too much economy. He's at, what is that, 40 or 123 villager count. So that leaves him with 36 population remaining, which is, what, 10 chariot archers and a siege tower and an elephant, apparently. And that's kind of it. So he can mass the mercenary cavalry, but he doesn't really have the trade route to make that work. So we'll see if he's going to start getting rid of some villagers soon, as a watchtower coming up on this position to try and defend it. There is a fairly weak tree position here for Hagrit to exploit, and same too, Joe could exploit over here, killing off their sentinel, taking this position would be really strong. But Joe's just continuing to mass in the center of this map here and trying to make something happen. Joe continues to get the damage done, but Hagrit holding nice and firm here. He's slowly getting his upgrades. Iron Mail, Sarissa coming through as well. Hagrit's going to be retreating back, but now the terrifying nature of Joe is his unrelenting decision making and ability to spam towers on the front when he needs to. And if you allow him to do it, it's going to be a tough one to push back from. As we see the tower coming up, and right now Hagrit he's got a couple of options. The best options would be trying to get onto these sides, dealing with these camel caravans, definitely going after this town center with some Petropolis. Some would be very, very helpful. But right now, Hagrid just doesn't have the economy to afford to do anything other than trying to hold here. And this will simply just be a war of attrition, which Hagrid's going to lose, and Joe's going to be able to continue to push into him. So I don't know exactly what it is, but Hagrid's got to try something different in this position apart from running in here. He's almost able to take down the Son of Osiris, but that one is Joe's control. Very, very good here, to say the very least, as the Son of Osiris is just going to hold in that tower for a little bit longer. The catapult going to be rolling forward in onto the position, going to be taking down the fortress here. Heliopolis coming out. Units retreating back here, and the siege towers wandering forward as well, as the units coming through for Hagrit, trying to hold onto this position. Architects Ballaster Tower coming through as well for Joe, as the Hippocon getting destroyed here. Now we see some walls coming up, and that's going to be a relatively safe catapult that can stay behind here and go after this town center. That's a tough position to be in for Hagrid, as he is slowly slipping. Still no fortress over here. He did have a fortress on this position, I believe, but was taken down. There's another one going to be thrown up on this position over here, but now the town center is going down, and I do not believe there are any upgrades for this town center beyond the upgrade for being a Hades town center, which is not the best, as this catapult's going to take it down very, very quickly, as the units continuing to push in onto this position here. Whole bunch of villagers are in here. There's only the one gold mine left for Joe, but Joe's got himself 23 camel caravans at this point, which is a lot of camel caravans, especially if he has a pharaoh over here to empower this. Not yet doing that. I don't think he's got New Kingdom, but it is coming through, so that's where that pharaoh is going to be getting sent, as the Son of Osiris is happily going to sit on this front. Look at all these battles of towers. The damage they do is ridiculous. 15.44 damage, and I don't think he's got iron weapons yet, so you can still get another 10% damage onto these towers. What's the base damage? 10? Base damage of 10, so you get another 0.10. Is that right? Or another 1 damage here, so it goes up to 16 with iron weapons. That's 32 damage a shot there with iron weapons, as the town center is now getting torn down, and Hagrit is slipping here. I don't think he's going to be able to continue down, something like 40 population here. If he drops that town center, goes down to 130, and Joe's at nearly 170 population, so that is basically a population advantage of 40 here, which is gigantic, as a Colossus moving forward for Hagrid, going to try and take down this position. The Son of Osiris is already in here, so it's going to be able to try and delete this pretty quickly. We are seeing Hagrid still going after the Son of Osiris. It's getting pulled back through these towers, but the tower is going to deal with these Hippocon incredibly fast. Colossus is actually able to come in and take these catapults down fairly easily, as Joe is sort of sacrificing villages on the front for the time being. More catapults moving in onto this position here, as the tower is doing some pretty good damage, and we'll see if Joe's going to get in here or not, but he's currently low on gold, or lowish on gold, but he's got about nearly 5,000 food in the bank. And Hagrid is basically saying, hey, Joe, can I have some food? So, like, a little bit fair. It's a little unfair that you have 5,000 and I have 29. Maybe just give me some, and we can have some fun here. But more towers going to come up on the front. Better to be safe than sorry here at this point, as just these towers just control the town center for the rest of the game, and he can take his time cleaning up all the rest of the buildings. Still no attempt at taking this location here for Hagrid. Siege works coming up over here as well. Guard towers to boot. As you do see the catapult kind of getting surrounded over here, as Hagrid's going to continue pushing in. We see the Son of Osiris moving in onto this position to try and heal this one or empower this one up as best as he can. We do see the villagers coming in to start shanking this down here as best as they possibly can. But with 21 villagers and the Son of Osiris, the town center gets up more than likely, and in that position, down 4 town centers to 2 town centers. That is a lot of population difference, 52 population difference there. There's no real hope for a player to continue in this game unless they've got prospects of destroying another town center over here. And it doesn't look like that was here for Hagrit, so Hagrit has to tap out. Joe leveling the series 2-2. However, Joe is now down 2 Egyptians. He has still not been able to win a game without his Egyptians here, so we'll see how that's going to affect Joe in the rest of this series and what Hagrit's going to come up with in game number 5. If you guys are enjoying this series, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.